In the serene coastal town of Seabrook, nestled between lush green pastures and the vast Atlantic Ocean, life moved at a gentle pace. The townsfolk were accustomed to the rhythmic lull of the waves and the occasional squall, but nothing prepared them for the tempest that was about to unfold. The local horse ranch, Seabrook Stables, was home to a diverse herd of horses, each with its own story. Among them was a spirited stallion named Thunder, known for his majestic mane and indomitable spirit. As the sun set on a particularly warm August evening, the sky turned an ominous shade of orange, and the air was thick with anticipation. The weatherman had warned of a Category 5 hurricane, but the townsfolk were skeptical. Thunder, however, seemed restless, sensing the impending danger. He paced the paddock, his hooves kicking up dust, as if urging the others to prepare for the worst. The next morning the town awoke to the distant rumble of thunder. The wind had picked up, and the once calm sea was now a churning mass of whitecaps. The townsfolk hurried to secure their homes and businesses, boarding up windows and stocking up on supplies. At Seabrook Stables, the ranch hands worked tirelessly to prepare the horses for the storm. Thunder watched intently, his ears pricked forward as the ranch hands reinforced the stables and moved the horses to the safest part of the barn. The air was electric with tension, and the horses, sensing the urgency, were unusually cooperative. As the first raindrops began to fall, the ranch hands took shelter, leaving the horses to face the storm together. By midday, the hurricane had made landfall, and Seabrook was in the throes of its fury. The wind howled like a banshee, and the rain fell in sheets, reducing visibility to near zero. The horses huddled together in the barn, their bodies pressed against each other for comfort. Thunder stood at the center, his presence a calming force for the others. The storm raged on, and the barn creaked and groaned under the assault. Debris flew through the air, and the sound of shattering glass and falling trees filled the air. Inside the barn, the horses were terrified, but Thunder's steady gaze and calm demeanor helped to keep them from panicking. As the storm intensified, the barn began to show signs of strain. A section of the roof was torn off, and water poured in, soaking the horses and turning the ground into a muddy quagmire. Thunder's instincts kicked in, and he began to move the herd to the driest part of the barn, herding them with gentle nudges and whinnies. The horses followed his lead, trusting him implicitly. Outside, the storm showed no signs of abating, and the barn continued to take a battering. The horses were cold, wet, and frightened, but Thunder's unwavering leadership kept them from giving in to despair. After hours of relentless assault, the storm finally began to show signs of weakening. The wind's howl lessened, and the rain eased to a steady drizzle. The horses, exhausted but relieved, began to relax, their bodies still pressed close together for warmth. Thunder, however, remained vigilant, his eyes scanning the barn for any signs of danger. The storm had taken its toll, and the barn was in disarray, but the horses had survived. As the first rays of sunlight broke through the clouds, the horses began to stir, their spirits lifting with the promise of better days ahead. The morning after the storm, the town of Seabrook was a scene of devastation. Trees were uprooted, buildings were damaged, and debris littered the streets. At Seabrook Stables, the damage was extensive. The barn was battered but still standing, and the horses, though shaken, were unharmed. The ranch hands arrived to assess the damage and were relieved to find the horses safe and sound. Thunder, the hero of the hour, was greeted with gratitude and admiration. The other horses nuzzled him, their way of showing thanks for his leadership and courage. In the days that followed, the town of Seabrook began the slow process of recovery. The residents worked together to clear the debris and repair the damage, their spirits buoyed by the resilience of their community. At Seabrook Stables, the ranch hands set about repairing the barn and caring for the horses. Thunder, now a local celebrity, was given extra attention and care. The other horses, too, received the best possible care, and the community rallied around the ranch, offering support and assistance. As the weeks passed, life in Seabrook gradually returned to normal. The town was rebuilt, and the scars of the storm began to fade. At Seabrook Stables, the horses were back to their usual routines, and Thunder resumed his role as the leader of the herd. The experience had left its mark, But the horses, like the town, were resilient and adaptable. The bond between Thunder and the other horses had grown stronger, and the ranch hands were grateful for the lessons learned from the storm. The story of Thunder and the hurricane spread far and wide, becoming a symbol of hope and resilience. The townsfolk shared the tale with visitors, and the ranch became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking inspiration. Thunder, the horse that survived the hurricane, was a living testament to the power of courage and leadership. His story was a reminder of the strength of the human and animal spirit, and the importance of community and cooperation in the face of adversity. With the storm a distant memory, Seabrook Stables thrived. The ranch expanded and the herd grew with Thunder at its heart. The horses continued to bring joy and inspiration to the community, and the ranch became a symbol of hope and renewal. The story of Thunder and the hurricane was immortalized in a book, and the ranch hosted events and workshops sharing the lessons of the storm with others. The legacy of the hurricane was one of resilience and unity, and the town of Seabrook emerged stronger and more united than ever before. As the years passed, Thunder grew older, but his spirit remained indomitable. The ranch hands and townsfolk often reflected on the events of that fateful day, grateful for the lessons learned and the bonds forged. The story of Thunder and the hurricane was a testament to the power of nature and the resilience of life. It was a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage, leadership, and community could overcome any challenge. To commemorate the anniversary of the hurricane, the town of Seabrook held an annual festival celebrating the resilience and spirit of the community. The festival featured music, food, and activities, and the highlight was a parade featuring Thunder and the other horses from Seabrook Stables. The festival was a time of joy and reflection, a chance to honor the past and look forward to the future. The story of Thunder and the hurricane inspired many, both in Seabrook and beyond. People from all walks of life were drawn to the ranch, seeking to learn from Thunder's example. The ranch became a place of learning and growth, offering workshops and programs on leadership, resilience, and community building. Thunder's legacy lived on, inspiring generations to come. As Thunder aged, his health began to decline. The ranch hands and townsfolk cared for him with love and devotion, ensuring he lived out his days in comfort and peace. When the time came for Thunder to pass, the community gathered to say goodbye, honoring his life and the indelible mark he had left on their lives. Thunder's passing was a time of mourning, but also of celebration, as his spirit lived on in the hearts of those he had touched. In honor of Thunder, the ranch erected a statue in the center of the paddock, a lasting tribute to the horse that had inspired so many. The statue was a symbol of courage, leadership, and resilience, and it became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking inspiration. The story of Thunder and the hurricane was immortalized in the hearts of the community, a testament to the power of hope and the enduring spirit of life. With Thunder's passing, a new generation of horses took his place at Seabrook Stables. The ranch continued to thrive, and the legacy of Thunder lived on in horses that followed. The story of Thunder and the hurricane was passed down to the new generation, inspiring them to carry on the tradition of courage and resilience. The experience of the hurricane taught the community of Seabrook valuable lessons about preparedness, resilience, and the importance of community. The town implemented new measures to improve disaster preparedness, and the ranch developed a comprehensive emergency plan. The lessons learned from the storm were invaluable, and the community emerged stronger and more united as a result. The bond between the residents of Seabrook and the horses of Seabrook Stables was a testament to the power of community. The town and the ranch were inextricably linked, and the story of Thunder and the hurricane was a symbol of their shared journey. The community continued to support the ranch, and the ranch in turn contributed to the community, creating a symbiotic relationship that benefited all. The story of Thunder and the hurricane was a story of renewal and rebirth. The storm, though devastating, had brought the community together and inspired a new sense of purpose. The town of Seabrook and Seabrook Stables emerged from the storm with a renewed commitment to resilience and unity, and the legacy of Thunder lived on in the hearts of all who knew him. The story of Thunder and the hurricane was a beacon of hope for the community. It was a reminder that even in the face of adversity, hope and courage could prevail. The tale of Thunder's survival and the community's resilience inspired many, offering a message of hope and renewal to all who heard it.
Sean, reflecting on the adventure, realizes that the experience has brought the flock closer together and strengthened their bond. The flock gathers for a debriefing session. They discuss the lessons learned from the adventure, including the importance of teamwork, courage, and friendship. Sean emphasizes the value of helping others and the power of working together to overcome challenges. The flock agrees that the experience has been a valuable one, and they vow to continue supporting each other in the future. To celebrate their success, the flock decides to throw a party. They invite all the animals in the farmyard, and the barn is transformed into a festive venue. The animals enjoy food, music, and games, and the flock shares stories of their adventure. The celebration is a joyous occasion, and the farm is filled with laughter and happiness. As the party winds down, Zog returns to the farm with news. He informs the flock that his planet is thriving once again, thanks to the cosmic crystal. The flock is delighted to hear the news and is happy to have played a part in saving Zog's world. Zog expresses his gratitude and presents the flock with a special gift, a star-shaped pendant that glows with a soft light. The flock is touched by Zog's gift and decides to use the pendant as a symbol of their friendship and the adventure they shared. They hang the pendant in the barn, where it serves as a reminder of the stars and the lessons learned. The pendant becomes a cherished item, and the flock often gathers around it to reflect on their experiences. The story of the stolen stars and the flock's adventure spreads throughout the farmyard and beyond. Other animals are inspired by the flock's bravery and teamwork, and the story becomes a legend. The flock is proud of their accomplishment and is happy to share their story with others, hoping to inspire them to work together and help those in need. As time passes, the flock continues to thrive and grow. They face new challenges and adventures, but the lessons learned from the star adventure guide them. Sean remains a steadfast leader, and the flock remains united, always ready to lend a helping hand. The star pendant continues to glow, a symbol of their enduring friendship and the power of teamwork. One day, as the flock is enjoying a peaceful afternoon, a new challenge presents itself. A mysterious object falls from the sky, landing in the field. The flock gathers around, curious and excited. Sean, with a twinkle in his eye, declares that a new adventure awaits. The flock, eager to explore and discover, prepares to embark on another journey, ready to face whatever comes their way.